Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. Paul Gordon's new musical, The Gospel According to Heather, has just opened and has already been extended through July 16th at Theater 555. And my two guests are two of the show's leads, TV star Katey Sagal, who you know from such shows as Married with Children, Sons of Anarchy, and Futurama, and Brittany Nicole Williams, who plays Heather. First of all, I am thrilled to be sitting with both of you here. I mean, welcome back to the stage for you, and welcome to the stage.
Hello.
How does it feel?
Well, it feels great. I mean, it's really fun. I've been wanting to come to New York and do something, but I wanted to do something original. So when Paul called me, and Paul Gordon and I go way, 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 way back, singer-songwriter buddies.
Yeah.
He said, it's small, but it's mighty. And I said, okay, I'm coming. So that was, yes, that's the first time here.
Yeah. Now, how did this come about for you? Did you read the script first? Did you hear the music?
It was a self-tape, and I saw the music, and that's kind of what drew me in. And then I saw that they kind of made a note and was like, feel free to make your own choices. And I was like, oh, love that. So I sent it in, and I did the staged reading at the Signature Theater. And then I came back for this go-round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What attracted you each? Was it the music? Was it the story? I mean, it's such a beautifully written musical. Like, what attracted you to this? Besides Paul, of course.
Besides
we
Paul,
get into.
but the music, the absolute music was, he sent me the score, him singing a lot of the songs, which was kind of funny. But he's just a great songwriter. So I thought, and I knew that it would be not a traditional sound because I just know Paul. So I also felt like that was something I wanted to do. So I loved the music is what drew me in.
Yeah. Was it the music for you?
The music, the same thing. It's not a traditional musical theater sound, and I loved that.
Right.
It was just like gorgeous, and again, I loved that he was allowing us to make choices, and it was a lot of creative freedom that I was given, and I was just like, I have to do this.
She's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You all have to come see her. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
You too.
Sorry, but you are.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, you talk about creative freedom. That's the great thing about doing an original musical.
Yes.
When you go into something, it's like try to follow this track where you can't really make it your own.
Right.
So it must be really exciting. It doesn't happen all the time to do a brand new musical here in New York. So what's made that so much fun for the both of you, like working on a brand new piece?
Well, I don't know any different
Yeah.
because I don't know any different. So, I mean, I have been asked to come in and do Chicago a couple of times, and they'd float. Things would get floated. I'm so based in Los Angeles because of my family, my children, and my TV work, and my stuff is there. So, but I just didn't want to do that because so many people had done that.
Yeah.
So, I can't even remember your question now, but what's it like doing an original
Yes,
musical?
totally.
It's all I know.
Yes.
So, that's how I wanted it. So it's good.
Well, take it back, because you've done new musicals before.
Yes.
And like I said, you've had creative freedom with this. So what have you enjoyed the most about getting a brand new piece and working on it, and it's being built on you?
This is the most creative freedom I have ever been given in my career thus far. I've also done a lot of understudy work and swung shows. Like, I've done a lot of that. And so I understand, like, when they say, we want you to kind of follow this path that this person has already kind of originated. And so to be able to originate something myself and bring myself into it, that's like, I can't even say how valuable that is, honestly.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about who you each play and what you love about them. I'll start with you, because you're Heather.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I play Heather Krebs. She's 17 and she lives in Sharonville, Ohio. It's a small conservative town, and she doesn't follow the status quo. She doesn't really conform to the standard in the town, and it ostracizes her at school, and she's not understood by her family, and so she's kind of a loner. And on top of everything, she has a really big secret that nobody knows. And then something happens. There is a big event that occurs, and the secret kind of spills out, and she doesn't really understand this secret power that she has, and so we kind of follow her journey into finding who she is and what all of this means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, what you love about your character, who do you play?
I'm an even bigger secret.
Yeah.
I'm a secret also. I mean, I can't really say exactly what I play because you have to come see the play to see what it is I do. But I am For a lot of it, I'm a senior citizen. That's what I will say, and I'm somebody that Heather comes and bounces things off of, and sort of, you know, is her. I guess I'm like your confessional.
Yeah, literally, yes.
I am that, and then I'm a secret.
I love that.
I know, right?
Okay, so the first times you saw yourself done up in your costumes and makeup, I love to ask actors, because I'm sure that helps you so much. The first time you saw yourself done up as Heather, like, what went through your mind?
I was like, I've gone through this phase. I went through an embarrassing, like, punk rock phase in middle school. There are no pictures, so do not look. There's no photo evidence. But that was the first thing that went through my mind. I was like, oh my God, this is like stepping back in time a little bit. But I love it. It helps you, like, truly get into character and, you know, feel who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for you, there's pictures everywhere. I mean, the pictures of you, like, in the beginning when she comes to visit you, like, when you saw yourself all done up, like, what went through your mind?
Grateful that I'm not there yet. No. You know, when Paul first said to me, he said, well, we're going to have to age you up a little bit. And I'm thinking, well, I don't know how he's going to do that. And, but when I wear this wig and I'm glasses and the clothes and I'm in a wheelchair. So it instantly, well, I've always been an actor though, that wardrobe informs everything. Shoes, very important. Shoes and clothes inform everything. So it was easier to kind of fit into her voice in the costume that I was wearing, that I am ultimately wearing.
The show is so beautifully designed. I mean, your sets, your costumes, the lighting, it's a beautiful production from what I've seen with all the pictures and everything. Being, like you said, this is your first time doing, you know, this musical theater thing, so on stage. So what's it been like for you watching them all work and create this?
First of all, I was so intimidated because I got sent rehearsal tapes. Because I'm at home, I'm in LA, I just came after the last 2 weeks of rehearsal, and I'm learning my song, really. And they're sending me tapes of them, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, what is how am I? Because first of all, I'm basically not a musical theater singer, even though I was in high school. I was kind of thinking about it. I was Anita in West Side Story in high school.
I bet you were great.
I think I was. And I just remember Bernardo having to lift me on his shoulder, and it was like a skinny little teenage boy, and I was like me. It was really. Anyway.
But he did it.
He did it. So I did do that. So I come from a more, you know, I mean, I have a band, I sing soul music, I sing rock music. I didn't really, so this was not my, so I went to my singing teacher in LA, and I just got it, I just got my shit together because I really needed to have, first of all, there was the pandemic. I didn't play with my band. I didn't do anything. I sang at home playing the piano. So, it's been a great chat. It was great. It was absolutely, you know, it's always so good when you are terrified to do something and then you say, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then you have to do it. So it's been wonderful. And then to watch them all, they are unreal. They're all, well, she's a triple threat. I haven't even seen her dance yet, but she tells me that she's an actor, she sings, she dances, and everybody sort of does. And they're phenomenal, and they do it like over and over and over again. I'm telling you, you know, I did do a show in LA at the Taper, Harps and Angels, which was a Randy Newman sort of.
Nice.
It was trying to be a play, but it was more like a retrospect. So I did. I had to do 8 shows a week, and I had to sing 4 or 5 songs, and I thought I was going to die. I mean, it was very challenging. I was glad I did it, but it was very challenging. Anyway, I know I'm probably talking.
No, you're not talking too much at all, because I saw you in Two Gentlemen of Verona in the national tour.
The touring company.
The touring company, but what a touring company you toured with. I mean, who were your leads in that show?
It was Janelle Allen
Yeah.
and Clifton Davis.
Yeah.
And you were...
Larry Kurt.
Oh, Larry Kurt. And then I was the understudy for the handmaiden, who I can't remember who she was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucitia, I think it's what...
Oh, see, look at you. Well, I was probably 19. You must have been 12.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, yes. I was 19.
No, 13.
Yeah.
That's on the tour.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, but I mean, Joanna Kearns, who is one of our favorite soap opera moms, not soap opera, but soap operas, and like, sitcom
Yeah,
moms.
yeah.
She was in the show with you, and did you room together?
Well, she was my roommate. We were chorus girls, and I'm terrified of heights.
Yeah.
And I had to be on top of this grate, this thing. And night after night, that's what I did. Yeah. See, you're so surprised. I know. I was surprised too. It was a long tour. It was like 9 months.
You went everywhere with that tour.
Yeah, it was a lot.
But just to think that Joanna Kearns, who became a huge sitcom mom.
And a director now.
And a director
She is
now.
a director,
Yeah.
yeah.
That you were roommates together in this show together.
I know.
Yeah.
She was kind of the straight-laced one.
Okay. Wait, did they give you a call to go on one day?
Yeah, they
For
called.
The Handmaiden?
They did. I was the one time in 9 months.
Yeah.
We're in San Francisco, and I had a bit of a love for marijuana at the time. So I'm smoking. So I'm doing my little afternoon whatever smoke.
Yeah.
Because by then I knew how to be a chorus girl, and they called me and they said, "You have to go on tonight." I was like, 3 sheets. I was just like, "What is happening?" I straightened up, sobered up right away. I mean, I made it. I do not remember the experience.
Oh, but you went on then.
I went on
As the Handmaiden.
as the Handmaiden.
I love that.
I think I had like 3 hours before I had to go on, so I was fine.
You pull it together.
Yeah.
Well, you've toured across the country. What do you enjoy the most about touring? Because you get to take these shows everywhere, specifically the prom to like red states and blue states. What was that like?
I was actually pleasantly surprised when we went to some like more conservative states. I think it just drew in like people who really wanted to see, like we drew in a certain crowd, and I think I had a great time. But I always love just traveling on tour, like being able to go during our days, when we have our shows at night, and during the day going and exploring like new places that I haven't been before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But I
my
love
favorite
when you
part.
say you understudied or stood by for people, because they have to learn like 4 and 5 tracks, or sometimes 8 tracks.
Weren't you telling
Yeah.
me you were you were like for 7 roles or something?
Yes,
Crazy.
in Aladdin. Yes.
Not just the Handmaiden.
7 roles.
No, like that's what I mean. It's like it's amazing to me.
How do you keep it all? Like seriously, I always ask people who learn these tracks, like 7 of them, because you know the stage you're on every night, but you're like, oh, what track am I on tonight for? Right?
You really, with time, it's better, it's easier to compartmentalize, I just take it track by track. I know everybody's process is very different, but especially if they're dancers too, I try to just like learn the choreography as a whole, and then I'm like, okay, so this person does it from the right and starts here, I try to learn the exoskeleton first, and then I specify what each girl does.
Wow.
I know.
No, it's a lot though.
It's a lot.
Was there ever a night you were on, like, you had to remember, like, when you were off stage saying, oh, I'm track 3 tonight?
Yes. Oh, yes. I have like when I'm going on for the first time for different tracks, I have flashcards on the side whenever I come off stage, so I can be like, okay, what is next? Just to keep me on track.
It's amazing.
Because Aladdin is one of those shows that never stops. Once the
No.
show starts, it is on a
There's no
magic carpet ride.
intermission?
No, there is.
There
but
is, but-
it's nonstop.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So you have to know where you are at any given time.
Oh yeah. And
where you-
backstage traffic too. You gotta know what's going on
Not
backstage.
Yes, you're not.
So you're not hit by a
people.
flying carpet or something,
You
right?
know, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What's amazed you the most? Like you said, you watching them all rehearse or whatever, but both of you, what have you learned from each other? Like watching each other work together?
Let's see. Well, first of all, she's got an unreal voice and unreal range. And so learning from, and then I was just telling her, because last night, she's great every night, but last night there was a little bit more nuance to what she was doing, and I could hear it, and I thought, oh, because my impression of musicals a lot of times is that it's more locked than an actual play. Like if you're doing a play, you can every night kind of do a little blah, 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 bring something. When I always think like a musical, oh, there's not as much room for interpretation. But like last night, you were in a different zone. It was so lovely and beautiful. So I learned from her. I learned from all of them. How, I worked, well, I'll just mention, I worked with Beth Midler for many years. And she she is a theater trained person. And I have never worked for anyone who worked so hard. And I had noticed that in all these kids. They're just like unbelievably disciplined, and they all show up. Everybody shows up. You're still
Sweet.
What have you learned from her?
Well, I told her this already, but I think that Katey is such a reminder for everyone that like there's no excuse, and you really everybody doesn't like everybody needs to treat everyone with kindness and love, and there's no reason to be anything other than that, because if anyone has, you know, the resume to back that up, she could, but she is so personable, she's kind, she's loving, she's gracious, and she really like got to know everyone, and it was just such a lovely, it's been such a lovely experience with you.
No.
So,
Aw.
A little love there.
No, but it is though. You know, doing these shows, it's such a short amount of time. You get to meet this new family.
Yeah.
You all fall in love with each other. You do your show for whatever. Thank God you've been extended. I
Right.
think that's really great. You guys just open and you're already extended, which is great.
Right.
yeah.
I mean,
It's gotten good response.
Oh, yeah.
Every night there's standing O. Every
Yeah.
night.
well, let's talk about the audience because some of it I'm sure has to do with you because you are known for so many incredible, iconic roles. I mean, we have to talk briefly about Peg Bundy on Married with Children, Sons of Anarchy, Futurama. I mean, there's so much. I mean, us who know you from like Bette Midler. No, but I mean, what's it like? You know, some people may be coming to a theater for the very first time because they know you from TV shows, and they're like, oh, this is live theater. She's out there live. This is what they do. What that means to you, having like introducing a whole new audience to the stage.
Well, I feel pretty comfortable. You know, I was on sitcom television for a long time, which is in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
So, and I've always liked to perform live with when I was writing music and making records, and
Yeah.
you know, I love to perform live. So, the question being, what can they?
No, just you're introducing them to this whole new art form because they know you from TV.
Oh, for me, well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: I am funny in it. I am funny, right?
Yes, you are.
So you're not going to think like, oh no, she's not funny. And then I think a lot of people are surprised that I sing, which is amazing to me because I've been singing for so long. But a lot of people they'll come up after and go, oh, we didn't know you did that. So that's kind of fun. That's nice to, you know, sort of broaden that out. And, you know, we'll see if I'm asked back to the New York. This is a very tight community.
Oh no, you are in the community.
Very much.
Just so you know, you're going to
So.
be, you know, before we started this interview, we were listening to your first album, which I told you plays on shuffle in my house a lot. It's called Well.
Yes.
And talk about a full circle moment. The same person who wrote this, Paul Gordon, is on that?
Right, Paul
Yeah.
and I, the story is this. Paul and I were singer-songwriter buddies in our 20s. There's one song on the record that Paul and I wrote together. And one of the main reasons I came here was when we were in our late 20s, Paul wrote a musical. And we did it in a non-equity theater. It was called Backstreet. And it was like, first of all, I had the brakes on wanting to be in musical theater. I was like, nah, that's not what I'm doing. But it was Paul, and
Yeah.
Paul wrote something that was more contemporary. So I do this musical, and out of that musical, my agent found me, who kept coming to the show and saying, do you want an agent? And I was like, no, no, I'm not doing, no. So finally, I'm kind of broke too. I'm broke. So I finally said, yeah, okay. So I signed with her, and then within 6 months, I was at the Taper doing The Beautiful Lady, Elizabeth Swados' show. And then from there, another 3 months goes by, and CBS asks me to read for a sitcom. I mean, it was crazy. And everything started from what Paul wrote. So if that hadn't happened, so when Paul called me, it was really like, oh, yes. Not just, it just felt so like the correct thing to do for so many reasons. So that's kind of my Paul Gordon story, you know, and he's, you know, it's like any old friend, like with the minute we saw each other, it's like we had just had lunch, you know, it's just
I
great.
love full circle moments.
Yes, this is really that.
And you don't know if you're going to have it again, but all of a sudden, here you are in New York making your New York debut
Right, with Paul,
with Paul.
I know.
Where it all started.
Which is so lovely.
I can't believe you didn't want to do musical theater. Like, I don't need an agent.
Well, I did, but at this point, here was my motto in my life, which is kind of my motto in my life now, as I'm a little bit older, is that I just say yes.
Yeah.
You know, just stop saying no. So at that moment, I was saying yes more out of desperation, which was sort of like, all right, well, maybe I can get a gig this way. Because I was on the road a lot. I worked as a background singer, and I was on the road, and I was on the road, you know.
You work with everybody, though. Bob
I did.
Dylan, Etta James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanya Tucker.
Iconic.
When she
Wow.
was with Glenn Campbell. That's what I always say. So, Yeah, so I'd done a lot of that, so it was kind of about time to either like be an interior designer or, you know, figure out a way to make money. So when I said yes to having a theatrical agent, that's what she was. What was the weirdest part is, you know, the beautiful lady, right?
Yeah.
Liz Swedos.
Yeah.
So it's the most dramatic rock opera of Russian poets before the revolution, and nobody speaks. We just sang. It was so avant-garde. And then to have CBS casting people say, "Would you like to read for a comedy?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Really? Half of that?" So I got that job, and that was my first, and that was with Mary Tyler Moore.
That's right.
Yes, the Mary Show, and Danny DeVito was the director. He hired me. It was a whole thing. So Paul Gordon kind of
But you had to say yes.
I had to say
kidding.
yes. No kidding. Well, I wanted to,
Yeah.
and we still have dreams of doing Backstreet. It's still an incredibly well written. It needs a book, a stronger book, but the music is amazing.
Well, put it out there, BroadwayWorld. Bring Backstreet to New York.
Bring Backstreet to New York.
Nice.
Yes.
I love this. Well, I want to ask you briefly about Sons of Anarchy. Favorite memory of doing that show?
So many.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, the opportunity to do it, because I was well known as a comedy performer.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult after Married with Children to get people to take me seriously as a dramatic actor, which I definitely consider myself more that. So the opportunity to do it was incredible. And my husband, who wrote it, and then wrote me this part, which originally was supposed to be very small.
Yeah.
And then the network was like, no, let's make it a mom-son thing. So it became bigger. So all of it was a great experience for me, you know, just being able to play a matriarch like that and show that I was, you know, and I like I said, I just can really consider myself a dramatic actor. Like, I'd love to do a play here. I think that would be fabulous.
Next time you come back, you'll do a play.
I'd like to do a play.
See?
I would like to do yes.
I love the musical.
I do, you know, as long as I don't have to work too hard. They work so hard. She works so hard.
And then Futurama's coming back, right?
Futurama airs July 24th, new
Yeah.
episodes on Hulu. We just did 20 new episodes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So that is coming out, yes. All things are good.
It is good.
Yes, and soon the whole writer's strike will be over, and we'll all go back to our other work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to this show for a second.
Yes.
Audiences have fallen in love with this, continue to do so. Like, what do you hope they take away from this show and what they're already taking away from it?
I hope that people leave uplifted, and I did have, you know, some people come after the show and come up to me and say, you know, I feel so light, I feel so happy, like I just feel like a better person leaving after the show. That's what I want for everybody who comes to see it.
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah.
getting it. I mean, every night I would see everybody's faces, and they are smiling ear to ear. I mean, there's probably some back there that aren't, but who knows?
Maybe.
But we don't see them. We see as far as we can see, and everybody's on their feet and feeling really good. It's just a great message of unity. It's a time in the world when we need that message of unity. And, you know, as the show says, love each other.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
basically the message.
Yes.
So.
And you're at a beautiful theater. It's the perfect size for this show, don't you think?
Nice.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you each, like when you take your bow each night, does it change of what you think?
What do you mean?
When you're taking your bow at the end of a show, what's going through your mind each night when you take your
Don't
bow?
fall.
It's all technical, right?
It's like, all right, these shoes are on now. Don't fall.
I love that.
Fair.
I don't know what she's thinking, but she gets to wear tennis shoes.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
do.
that's fair.
That is
That's
fair.
probably why I'm like, whatever. I just try and take it in, because I feel like when I'm in the show, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of moments for me to like take a second. I'm just going, and so I try to just take in the moment and just be thankful of the audience and happy that, you know, they liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they liked it.
Yeah.
Finally, what are you enjoying the most? Especially for you, first time back in New York doing a musical here. What you're enjoying the most about this whole process of working on this beautiful musical?
What I like the most? I mean, there's a lot I like. I love the people.
Yeah.
I love the cast. I think they're fabulous, and I love the talent, and I like the camaraderie. You know, the acting world can sometimes feel competitive, And this does not feel that way to me. And that's the way I like to work. I love an ensemble. I like to be involved in the middle. I don't like, so that's been really wonderful. And then, I love to live perform. I do, as much as I bitch and complain sometimes. I do.
There's nothing better.
I love being on the stage in front of people. And I love, I love when they like me. Period.
What are you enjoying the most?
It's the people,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, there's definitely a lot of love, a lot of support, like real friendships being formed. It's a great group of people to work with, and that's helpful on stage too.
Yeah.
It's just great to have that type of camaraderie. And honestly, just the message, the music, the show itself, being able to like bring myself into it, it's rewarding, to say the very least.
Well, this has been great catching up with both of you. The show has been extended already.
Yes, extended already. Everybody come to the show.
And wait, you just recorded your cast album. Wait, before we leave
did.
here,
Yes.
this never happens this quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just opened.
Okay.
And you recorded your album.
Well, I think that is a tribute to Jim,
Yeah.
to our producer, and Donna,
Yeah.
because they, just from what I'm understanding about this world, you have to find different approaches to get noticed,
Yeah.
to be able to continue, to be able to, because, I think the question always is, I would imagine, what happens next?
Yeah.
Right? So being able to do that was a very, thoughtful approach to what you do next.
Yeah.
Because then you have proof of how great it is. So
Right.
that's attributed to Jim, I think.
Well, that was really cool to record your album the other day, right?
Yes, that was
Fun.
amazing. That was
Yeah.
a first for me. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've been in a recording studio for, to do sweetener tracks
Yeah.
for tours and things, when we're dancing really hard and we need some extra support, but
Right.
never that. Never like an
Oh.
album. So that was amazing.
A lead.
I
know.
And the lead, right?
It was really fun. It was great. It was very
Great.
special.
Wow. Were you happy with what got down?
Yes,
'Cause we went fast.
Yes. Yeah.
We were fast.
But you're the best at what you do. So the point is that's how it's done. You lay some tracks down, and then the album comes out.
Yep.
Apparently so, yes.
Well, like I said, a lot of wonderful things have happened for this. It's been extended already through July 16th. An album is coming out, so everybody go see The Gospel According to Heather and see these two and their incredible cast. Take care.